It's 3 a.m., and somewhere in Texas, a rocket is being prepped for launch. Not by NASA, not by any government, but by a guy who once got kicked out of his own company. Meanwhile, 2,000 miles away in Washington, another billionaire is quietly building what he calls the infrastructure for the next generation of space entrepreneurs. This is the story of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Two men who looked up at the stars and said, yeah, I can do better than that. Let's rewind. Before either of these guys was shooting rockets into space, they were just, well, really successful nerds. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in 1994 in his garage. And I mean actually in his garage. Not the mythical Silicon Valley garage, but a real one in Bellevue, Washington. He was selling books online when most people still thought the internet was a fad. He was mocked on talk shows, labeled a crazy.com guy, and yet kept going. His quiet obsession with efficiency and customer experience, it would eventually shape how entire industries work. Fast forward to today, Amazon basically runs half the internet, and Bezos is worth around $195 billion. Not bad for a book salesman, right? But here's the kicker. While building his retail empire, Bezos was secretly obsessed with space. Like, really obsessed. In 2000, while everyone was focused on Amazon's growth, he quietly founded Blue Origin with a simple motto: Gradatim ferociter, step by step, ferociously. It wasn't about flashy launches. It was about laying foundations for a future few people could even imagine. Now, Elon Musk, he took a completely different path. This guy sold his first company, Zip2, for $300 million when he was just 28. Then he helped create what became PayPal and sold that to eBay for $1.5 billion. That money didn't go into yachts or sports teams. It went into dreams. And one of those dreams was fixing spaceflight the way he fixed online payments, by tearing up the rulebook. Most people would buy an island and call it a day. Musk, he looked at the space industry and said, you know what's wrong with rockets? Everything. In 2002, with $100 million of his own money, he started SpaceX. His friends thought he was having a midlife crisis. His critics thought he was insane. Turns out, he was just getting started. Here's where things get interesting. Both companies had the same basic idea: make rockets reusable. Sounds simple, right? Well, consider this. Before SpaceX and Blue Origin, rockets were basically the most expensive one-time use items on Earth. Imagine buying a $100 million airplane, flying it once, then throwing it away. That's how space worked for 60 years. NASA tried reusability with the space shuttle, but it was insanely complex and expensive. What Musk and Bezos were attempting? It wasn't just innovation, it was heresy in aerospace circles. Blue Origin played it safe and steady. They started small with suborbital flights, basically space tourism for the ultra-wealthy. Their approach? Perfect the technology first, then scale up. They called it the slow cook method. Fewer explosions, fewer headlines, but steady progress. In 2008, SpaceX was literally 3 failures away from bankruptcy. Their first 3 rockets exploded. Musk had spent nearly all his money, was going through a divorce, and was sleeping on friends' couches. Then something magical happened. Falcon 1 worked. Not only did it work, but SpaceX started landing contracts with NASA. By 2020, SpaceX was launching astronauts to the International Space Station, something only 3 countries had ever done before. Meanwhile, Blue Origin was still perfecting their tourist flights. But here's what's wild. Bezos isn't actually losing this race. He's playing a completely different game. He's betting that slow and scalable will outlast flashy and fast. Because when it comes to space, it's not just about who gets there first, it's about who stays. While everyone was watching rocket launches, both men were building something much bigger: influence. Take government contracts. SpaceX has locked in over $5 billion in NASA deals, including the contract to land the next humans on the moon. When Blue Origin challenged that decision in court, they lost. That lawsuit wasn't just about contracts. It was about control over the future of space, because whoever builds the lander doesn't just make money, they make history. But not quietly. See, Bezos has something Musk doesn't: traditional political connections. Amazon Web Services hosts a huge chunk of the federal government's data. He owns the Washington Post. He knows how Washington works. He's in the boardrooms, at the dinners, on a first-name basis with the people who write the checks. Musk's approach? Well, let's just say 2024 changed everything. When Donald Trump ran for president again, Musk didn't just endorse him. He became one of his biggest supporters. We're talking about using his platform X, formerly Twitter, Twitter to shape conversations, funding operations, and leveraging his influence in ways we've never seen from a tech billionaire. The result? Musk now has direct access to the most powerful office in the world. That's not just business strategy. That's playing on a whole different level. He's not lobbying the government. He's becoming part of it. And in a world where power and policy shape the future of space, that changes everything. But wait, it gets weirder. Both men are literally trying to reshape human evolution. Musk's master plan? Make humans a multiplanetary species. He genuinely believes that if we don't colonize Mars, we might not survive as a species. Radiation, climate change, rogue AI. He sees Earth as a ticking clock, and Mars? That's the backup drive. His company Neuralink actually implanted a computer chip into a human brain in 2024. The goal? Merge human intelligence with artificial intelligence before AI surpasses us. I'm not making this up. This is actually happening. It's like science fiction, except it's funded by a billionaire with a deadline. Bezos has a different vision. Instead of abandoning Earth, he wants to move heavy industry into space. Picture this: millions of people living in rotating space habitats, powered by unlimited solar energy, while Earth becomes a beautiful residential planet. His model? Think Earth as a national park. Clean, preserved, and peaceful. Oh, and he's also funding research into biological immortality, because apparently when you have $200 billion, why not try to live forever? He's not just betting on space longevity, he's betting on personal longevity too. So here's the billion-dollar question. Who's actually winning this space race? On paper, it looks like Musk. SpaceX launches more rockets, carries more payload, and gets more headlines. They've successfully landed and reused rockets dozens of times, while Blue Origin is still working on their orbital rocket. They've turned rocket landings into something so routine it barely makes the news anymore. And in the world of spaceflight, boring is a flex. But Bezos is playing the long game. While Musk is focused on Mars, Bezos is building the infrastructure that could support an entire space economy. His New Shepard rocket might not orbit Earth, but it's perfectly designed for space tourism, and that market could be worth $8 billion by 2030. He's not just chasing missions, he's building marketplaces. Plus, Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, when it finally launches, will be capable of carrying massive payloads to space. They're not just trying to win today's game, they're trying to own tomorrow's. Here's what's really happening. Two of the richest people in human history are using their personal fortunes to advance our species into space. Think about that. For most of human history, only superpowers could afford space programs. Now, two guys with really good internet businesses are competing to colonize the solar system. It's a shift so profound it changes not just space travel, but who controls the future of humanity. The stakes aren't just money or glory, they're about survival and legacy. Musk wants to put 1 million people on Mars by 2050. Bezos wants to save Earth by moving polluting industries into space. Both sound insane. Both might be right. The craziest part? We get to watch it happen in real time. Every launch, every failure, every breakthrough is broadcast live. We're witnessing the beginning of humanity's expansion into the cosmos, and it's being live streamed. And while the world debates climate change, wars, and crises, these two are betting on the stars. So where does this end? Maybe with cities on Mars and luxury hotels in orbit. Maybe with one billionaire's vision completely crushing the other. Or maybe, and this is the most interesting possibility, they both succeed, and we end up with multiple paths to the stars. One thing's for sure, the next decade is going to be absolutely wild. We're talking about regular flights to space, lunar bases, and yeah, probably the first human born on another planet. It's the dawn of a new era, and we're all along for the ride. And it all started because two really ambitious guys looked up at the sky and refused to accept that space was too hard, too expensive, or too dangerous. The space race used to be about national pride. Now, it's about human survival, technological evolution, and the biggest egos in human history. The question isn't whether we'll become a spacefaring civilization. The question is, which billionaire's dream will get us there first? Tell us in the comments below, Musk or Bezos? And if you want more unrivaled stories of wealth, power, and prestige, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Crown Syndicate, and ring the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Crown Syndicate, where wealth meets power.